Today I'm going to be putting down 002 MicroGreen and Humic12, and let me show you some info about that stuff real quick. I'm going to talk about the products themselves a little bit. Here we have the Humic12, which is just basically pure liquid humic acid. The reason it's called Humic12, it's 12% humic acid, and the reason that this is an important utility, important tool in this biostimulant pack, or rather just the next line in general, is because this is just, like I said, essentially pure humic acid. Obviously there's 88% water in there, as well as potassium hydroxide, but this is going to be your humic power. There's humic acid in basically every single one of the next product line, but this is going to be just your pure humic acid. Next we got the MicroGreen. So MicroGreen is just packed full of stuff. Technically this is a fertilizer because it does have macros. So you can see in the NPK value we have 0 nitrogen, 0 phosphorus, and 2% potassium. We also have, in addition to that, like I said, 2% potassium. We also have 0.5% magnesium, which is water-soluble magnesium. We have 3% sulfur. We have 0.05% copper. We also have 3% iron, which is where you're going to get that dark pop of color, or rather that pop of dark green color in your lawn. We also have 0.25% magnesium, which is or manganese, I'm sorry, which is a water-soluble manganese. We also have 0.15% zinc. And you can see here there's a couple other things, including, and then we also have 8% humic acid. Like I said when I was talking about the Humic12, everything here has humic acid. And then 2% cold water kelp. The combination of those is essentially like a slimmed down version of RGS. I'm going to be applying these using my Ortho Dial-In Spray hose-in sprayer, and you'll see tons of info on how to calibrate your sprayer in other videos on this channel as well as other channels. I highly recommend getting a quick connect for your hose for a hose-in sprayer. It just makes things way easier. You technically can mix a bunch of different N-Ext products, but in this case you don't want to mix MicroGreen with anything, just because of its its makeup. You just don't want to mix it with stuff. I don't do that anyway, and the reason for that is, like I said, I'm going to be putting down 6 ounces per 1,000 on this, and I don't remember exactly what I'm putting down in Humic. I'll look in a second. But I got 10,000 square feet, so rather than filling this up twice or whatever, because this will hold 32 ounces, so I'll basically be filling it up twice. I'm just going to completely fill it up and just spray and pray basically, and then fill it up again like I'll need to, and then I'm done. And then let's say I'm putting out, I'm not, but let's say I'm only putting out 1 ounce per 1,000 of the Humic12. I'm still going to fill this up way farther than I need, simply because if I saw a product in there I could just dump it right back in. Another good reason to not mix, which is why I don't. But then you're not limited by what's still left in there, because I haven't made the rubber band modification, but you'll find that these don't always sit perfectly flat in the bottom. It'd be really cool if they made a design like those new N-Ext bottles that have like the straw built into the side. Anyway, I'm off track. Let's spray this down. Wanted to mention real quick that I'm wearing these boots, not because the product is dangerous to get in your skin or anything, but because it's wet and I don't want my shoes and socks to get all wet. Another thing is, it's a thing up for debate, which nozzle do you pick? I am going to go with the shower. I don't know why. Okay, if I applied that correctly, then what I should have left is what? I put in 32 ounces. I sprayed almost 4,000 square feet. Okay, so what I should have left is way less than what I have. I still have 16 ounces in here. Or, yeah, 16 ounces. And I should have like 8 or so. So I need to work on my pace a little bit, but otherwise good. I'm just going to keep it growing, and then we'll switch to the Humic12 here in a second. Alright, so that's my microgreen done. I'm going to take the remainder, which is about 8 ounces, dump it back in the jug. Not going to rinse or anything, and then I'm going to put my Humic12 on in. And remember, I'm just going to fill it all the way up. Doesn't matter how much I actually need. Let's get to spraying. Now you might be able to tell already by the jugs how they have changed and how I myself have changed. Not clothing, but now my white shirt from over here is now splattered with brown. I've washed my hands, but that's the risk you run when it's a slightly windy day and you start spraying stuff like humic acid and MicroGreen. Now before I mentioned that I couldn't remember the rates I was doing. So here, let me explain the rates I'm doing here. So both of these went down at 6 ounces per 1,000 square feet. Now the reason I did Humic12 at 6 ounces per 1,000 square feet, you'll see a lot of people doing it in much lower rates because they're applying it once a month, once every 2 months. I am only applying Humic12 twice a year, once in early spring and once in late fall. I'm sorry, once in early spring, once in early fall. The reason I'm doing it like that is I'm just going to keep up with that schedule because I'm using all of the other Greene County Fertilizer N-Ext products, which all contain humic. I don't need to do huge amounts of pure humic acid every single month, or every 4 or 6 weeks or whatever it may be. So this is just going down this one time and then again in the fall at 6 ounces per 1,000. I'm also doing 6 ounces per 1,000 of MicroGreen, but the difference between that and the humic is I'm doing that every single month, essentially, every 4 to 6 weeks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this every time I do a fertilizer application, whether that's a liquid or a granular. Maybe a week or 2 later, I'm going to follow it up with some MicroGreen at 6 ounces per 1,000. Okay, so now that that's all spread out and sprayed, I guess that's the end of this video. You know, there's going to be links and stuff in the description to these products. Yeah, I'm all bone dry on both of these. I filled this one up with water. Reuse your jugs, you know, don't just throw these away. So I'm bone dry, so I'm gonna have to hit up Yard Mastery and get another BioStim pack. I might just go ahead and grab a couple gallons of each, 2.5, you know. So yeah, gotta stay stocked up, and thanks for watching.